Hi my friends, and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. I can't believe how fast 2023 went by. So I thought I would just try and do a little bit of a chat video just to kind of let you know the goals that I'm looking at for 2024, and I want to hear about your goals as well. So for those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Kristi. And give you a little bit of a background, I'm currently 52 years old. I am just shy of 5 foot. I'm 4'11 3/4, and I am postmenopausal. So as you can imagine, I am at that stage of my life where losing weight is not the easiest thing for me. But my weight loss journey kind of goes back to, I would say I got really serious in my early 30s. I actually became a Weight Watchers lifetime member in my early 30s. I had lost 93 pounds. I honestly, though, did it by over-restricting, over-exercising. I really didn't learn anything. Back then, Weight Watchers just taught you about points. It didn't teach you about, like, this food is healthier than this food or different choices that you could make. So over the years, I did gain my weight back, had some medical problems, blah, blah, blah. And then in 2019, my husband and I decided to join Weight Watchers online. He lost 70 pounds and has maintained it ever since. Now he pretty much just does like intuitive eating. And then I lost 50 pounds. And over the span of the next couple of years, I had put back on 20. So I'm still down about 30 pounds since then, which I'm honestly okay with. Over the last couple of years, I have actually kind of taken a step back and really evaluated where I am in my life and what's important, and just really kind of got sick of looking at the number on the scale. Tried a little bit of intuitive eating, was learning some things there. So I've always had a lot of interest in nutrition. So I ended up taking a nutrition course. I became certified as a nutrition coach through NASM, the National Academy of Sports Medicine. I am certified as a nutrition coach, also as a weight loss coach, and I also have a specialty in behavior change. So I've always just really had an interest in nutrition. I do believe in science and moderation. So I don't go the everything has to be organic, all clean food type route. I do believe in science. I just believe that it's everything in moderation. But I am a firm believer of you doing what works for you. So just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you, and vice versa. So we all just have to figure out what works best for each of us as individuals. I honestly, this past year, have really been into macros. I finally started to where I'm doing strength training again. I used to lift years and years ago, and then I ended up with like an incisional hernia. So that kind of knocked me down from lifting, but I love strength training. That's like my favorite exercise. I don't really care for doing a lot of cardio in a day. I do love walking, but as far as, strenuous cardio, I don't love that. So I firmly believe in finding activity that works for you. So I've been really kind of trying to focus more on getting more protein in, and that's kind of where I stand. I'm just learning what works for me, and I'm learning what can be a sustainable lifestyle for me. So I just want to hop on and share with you kind of what my focus is for 2024, things that I'm going to focus on. And number one is movement and lifting. Like I said, I really want to get back to my lifting. I want to find something that is sustainable for me for the rest of my life, not something that, like when I did Weight Watchers the first time, I was working out. I was going to, they had, it was called Curves back in the day. They had Curves, and I was going to Curves in the morning, and then at nighttime I was doing a 45-minute cardio video at home. And I just really found that I was looking for an end. So I was doing all that, and then once I got to my goal weight, then hey, I made it. I'm there. I don't have to do all this anymore. And we all know that's not the case. So now that I'm older, it's really about health rather than, the number on the scale. My health, honestly, is at the best it's ever been. All my labs are good. I have blood pressure issues, which runs in my family. That's genetics. But other than that, my cholesterol is good. I'm not on any medication for anything else. And that has just all been from diet and exercise and not necessarily losing weight. So I've really been doing a lot of research about the best things to do for menopausal women. And I've really just found that focusing on protein and maintaining muscle mass is really the biggest thing for me. As women go through menopause, we have a decrease in our muscle mass and an increase in body fat. It's just something that happens with hormonal changes. So I just feel like I need to try to do the best thing I can to increase my muscle mass. So that is my focus. Rather than decreasing that number on the scale, I want to increase my muscle mass. And what that means is, I've always shared this over the last probably 2 years, I am not focusing on the number on the scale. I just don't want to focus on that number on the scale and have like a set weigh-in day. So I have an app where I can get on a scale and it just goes into my app. I don't even have to look at it, so I don't have to see that number on the scale. So I can just get on my scale every day, and then I can average out for the 7 days. Rather than today is my weigh-in day and I get on that scale and I may be up a pound. That doesn't mean I gained a pound of fat. You hear so many people say, oh, I ate so horrible yesterday and I got on the scale this morning and I gained 2 pounds. You did not gain 2 pounds of fat from what you ate the day prior, okay? It is not linear. It does not have anything to do. It may not even have anything to do with what you did in that particular week. So I just don't focus on that number on the scale because I don't know what that pound is. That pound could just simply be water. Maybe I worked out really hard the day before and my muscles are holding on to water around them for protection. It doesn't mean that you gained a pound of fat. It just means that your body at that particular moment weighs a pound more. You could weigh yourself 3 hours later and it doesn't weigh that anymore. So just keep that in mind, that if you are weighing yourself every single week, that weigh-in that you have that day doesn't necessarily correlate to how you did for that particular week. Have you ever had times where you expected a really good loss on the scale and you end up gaining? Or vice versa, you thought, oh my gosh, I'm dreading getting on that scale. I know I'm gonna gain this week, and you lost. That's my point. You can't tell based on how you ate for a day or a week what that scale is gonna say. So with that being said, another goal of mine is gonna be for fat loss, not weight loss. I want it to be fat loss. When you are retaining your muscle mass and building on your muscle, you could very easily have the scale. Let's say you lost a pound of fat, but you gained a pound of muscle. The number on the scale is going to be the same, but your body is going to be smaller over time. So you see so many people that have posted things about their weight loss, and then once they start lifting and they start building muscle, they show comparisons of the number, what the scale shows, and they could look completely different because they've changed their body composition. And so that's really more what I'm trying to do, is to change my body composition. I want to try to lose weight while I am retaining my muscle mass. So like I said, my focus is going to be on lifting and also my protein. My needs for protein, I'm going to try to get around 130 grams a day of protein, anywhere between 100 and 130. That's just personally what I'm shooting for, what I've talked with my doctor about. Something else that I'm focusing on this year is sleep. I have been doing so much better this past year. So you've probably noticed over this past year, my number of videos that I do has come down tremendously. And that is mostly because I have been trying to make more time for myself. I was really burning myself out, to be completely honest. I was staying up until like midnight editing videos. Then I'd get up in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. I leave my house to go to work, usually around 7, and then I don't get home from work until about 6 at night. So 7 in the morning till 6 at night, I'm gone Monday through Friday for my regular job. And so I just I wasn't making time for myself. I was coming home, I was making dinner, or my husband was cooking on the grill, whatever. And then I was immediately editing videos until all hours of the night. And I just wasn't finding time for myself. So this year, I'm definitely focusing on that. My goal is minimum 7 hours of sleep. I sometimes don't get that during the week. Sometimes it's like 6.5, but I'm really gonna try real hard this year to at least get 7 hours, 7 to 9. Now the weekends I do much better. On the weekends I can easily get 9 hours of sleep. But during the week when I'm working, that's the hard part. So I definitely have to try to call it quits at night and just shut everything down, shut the mind down too. That's the hardest thing. And that goes with my last one, making time for me. I just really want to try to make time for myself this year. I need to focus on myself first. So sometimes I've made decisions in the past like, oh, I really need to exercise today. Yeah, but I really got to get a video up. And I've chosen to work on the video rather than exercise. So I have to make sure that I make myself a priority this year. I have to make sure that I keep my movement in, make sure that I keep my exercise. The weekends are usually pretty easy for me to fit the exercise in, but during the week when I go to work, it's hard for me sometimes. So I prefer to work out in the morning, especially on my lift days. I do full body lift workouts. And right now I do them 2 to 3 times a week. I really want to increase eventually to 3 to 4 times a week, but right now I'm just doing 2 to 3. And then I am getting my walking in. I have a treadmill that I will do cardio maybe 2 days a week. Like I said, I don't like to do strenuous cardio. I just like to do kind of like low impact, but I will get on the treadmill and I will run, things like that. But I just don't want that to be the focus. I want my lifting to be the focus for this year. So just making time for myself, making time to do all the things that I need to do that are going to benefit me, make sure that I'm doing good so that then I can turn around and help any of you. But if I don't practice what I preach, so I can easily help any of you. A lot of you have come to me for advice, for help, and I love helping you, but I have to learn to help myself first. I have to make sure that I am practicing what I preach, and what I'm telling you, I need to make sure that I'm doing for myself. And so I kind of got away from that over the last couple of years, and I'm slowly getting back to that. So before I close, I do want to mention that I I think I said this last year and I just never was able to do it. I really do want to try to put out kind of like a chat video, maybe like the beginning of each month if I can, or maybe not the beginning of each month, maybe sometime once a month. So I would love if you have ideas. I thought about like talking about macros, talking about, protein and carbs and fats or different topics. So if there are any topics that you would like me to talk about or things you want to learn about, something that I can help with, just put the comments down below. Let me know. Of course, if it's something that's outside of my expertise or something that I'm not comfortable talking about, then I'll let you know that. As I always say though, you should always use any of these videos, anything that you watch, social media, YouTube videos, or anything like that. Always take what people say as just kind of like a guide. Remember, we're all different. Every single one of us is different, and we all have different beliefs. We all have different understanding of different topics. So you have to kind of take what you hear and absorb that information yourself, and you have to determine what it is that works for you. So just keep that in mind. But if there's anything that you would like me to talk about this year, anything that you want to see, let me know in the comments what type of videos. I know pretty much a lot of people like my meal preps. I have been meal prepping a little bit different lately, so I don't do like a complete meal prep every single week, but I will definitely, of course, be sharing meal prep ideas, different things like that. So just let me know in the comments things that you would like to see. Let me know in the comments what your focus is going to be for 2024. And with that, I'm going to wish you all a very happy 2024. I hope everything goes amazing for you all. Thank you all so much for your support. I meant to say in the beginning, I appreciate each and every one of you so much. I thank you for your support, even as over the last year or so I've kind of dwindled down on my videos and not had as many come out, but I really appreciate those of you who have stuck around and who have been with me, and welcome to those of you who are new. I really appreciate all of you. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful 2024, and I'll see you in my next one.